Hello, everyone. Welcome to Natural English Podcast. My name is Alex. Here, we create slow and natural English conversations to help you improve your listening skills and enjoy learning English in a comfortable way.
And I'm Lily. We believe English learning is not only about grammar and vocabulary. It is also about sharing stories, experiences, and ideas that can help us grow as people.
Yes, exactly. So if you are learning English and you want to practice listening to real, natural conversations, this is the right place for you. We speak slowly and clearly, so you can follow along easily.
And we also talk about topics that matter in daily life. We want you to feel like you are sitting with two friends, having a relaxed and meaningful conversation. It is not a classroom. It is real life.
Definitely no exams here. Just conversations that we hope can help you in more ways than one.
Today, we are going to talk about something that I think almost everyone has experienced at some point. It is about the way we look at ourselves and how we sometimes compare ourselves to others.
Yes, that is such an important topic. It is something that affects so many people, no matter where they are from or how old they are. And we want to talk about why we do it, how it makes us feel, and maybe how we can stop doing it so much.
But before we go deeper into that, we just want to say a big thank you for being here. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We are really happy to have you.
And if you are enjoying this conversation so far, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to Natural English Podcast. It really helps us to keep making these episodes for you.
Okay, so let's start. Alex, I want to ask you something. Do you ever find yourself comparing your life to other people's lives?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I try not to, but it happens. It is like a habit that is hard to break. I look at someone I know and I think, wow, they have a better job, or they are more successful, or they seem happier. And suddenly I feel like I am behind.
I completely understand that. I think it is very natural. It is almost automatic, you know? You see something online or you hear a friend's news, and the first reaction is to measure yourself against them.
Exactly. It is like we have this little voice inside our heads that says, look at them. Why are you like that? What are you doing wrong? And that voice can be very loud sometimes.
That voice is definitely something I know well. For me, it happens most often when I'm on social media. I see people traveling to beautiful places, getting new jobs, or buying houses, and I start wondering what I am doing with my life.
Social media is a big part of it, for sure. It shows you a highlight reel of someone else's life. You are seeing the best moments, the achievements, the happy days, but you're not seeing the struggles, the bad days, or the failures.
You're right. We only see the finished picture. We don't see all the hard work or the difficult times that came before it. And then we compare that perfect picture to our own behind the scenes. It is not fair to ourselves.
That is such a good way to put it. We are comparing our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. And of course, that is going to make us feel inadequate. It's like comparing an apple to an orange.
I want to go back a little bit to our younger years. Do you remember feeling this way when we were kids or in school?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think it starts pretty early. I remember being in school and comparing my grades to my friends. If someone got a higher score on a test, I would feel a little bit bad. Or if I wasn't good at sports, I would compare myself to the kids who were.
Yes, I remember that too. There was always a sense of competition. Who was the most popular? Who was the best at art? Who was the smartest? It was like we were always being measured, and it was easy to feel like you were falling short.
I think that is where the habit of comparing starts. We're put into groups and ranked, and that feeling of not being enough stays with us as we grow up. It follows us into our careers, into our relationships, and into our personal goals.
And it is not just about grades, it is about everything: skills, appearance, money, even the way we talk. There is always someone who seems to do it better.
Yes, and that can be exhausting. I remember when I started working, I used to compare my career progress to my friends. Everyone was moving faster than me. One friend was a manager at a big company. Another started their own business. And I was just working.
I had a similar experience. A friend of mine finished university a year before me because I changed my major, and I felt so behind. I thought, I am going to be a year late for everything. It felt like such a big deal then.
And now, looking back, what difference did that year make? None. We both ended up where we wanted to be, just at different times. Everyone has a different path.
Exactly. I think the problem is that we see life as a race. We think we have to be at a certain point at a certain age. But who made those rules? Life is not a race. It is more like a journey or a walk.
I like that. It is a walk. Some people walk fast, some people walk slowly. Some people take breaks, some people take detours. And that is okay. What matters is that we keep moving forward in our own way and at our own speed.
And we all have different starting points. We don't all come from the same place. We don't all have the same resources, the same support, or the same opportunities. So comparing ourselves to someone else is not even based on equal ground.
That is a really important point. It is like comparing a person running a marathon in the summer to a person running it in the winter. The conditions are different, so the results will be different. You cannot compare them directly.
Oh, that is a good metaphor. I never thought about it that way.
I've been thinking about this topic a lot lately. I think we often forget that everyone has a unique story, a unique past, and unique struggles.
That is true. And comparing ourselves to others can really drain our energy. It takes away from our own potential. Instead of working in ourselves, we spend our time wishing we were someone else.
It also makes us feel less grateful. When we are always looking at what others have, we forget to appreciate what we have. And that is a sad thing.
Yes, I completely agree with you. It is about being aware. When you catch yourself comparing, you can remind yourself of your own strengths. What are you good at? What do you have? What have you achieved, even if it is small?
Sometimes I think about my weaknesses too. I used to feel bad about them. I would think, why can't I be more organized? Why can't I be more confident? But now I see my weaknesses as part of me. They make me who I am, and they give me room to grow.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. I think accepting our weaknesses is just as important as celebrating our strengths. We are not perfect, and that is okay. In fact, it is the imperfections that make us interesting.
I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine, Tom. He is a very successful businessman now, but he did not start that way. When we were in our 20s, he had a small job that did not pay much. Many of our friends had better jobs and more money.
And he never compared himself to them?
He did. He told me once that he felt very insecure. He would see people buying new cars and traveling, and he felt like a failure. But he kept working hard. He kept learning, and he kept believing in himself.
So he had that feeling too?
Yes, and now he runs his own company. He took a different path, a slower one, but he got to where he wanted to be. And the interesting thing is, he told me he is happy he did it that way, because he learned so much during those slow years. He built a strong foundation.
That is such a good example. It shows that success is not about getting there first.
It is about building something real, something that lasts. And you cannot build something real if you are always rushing.
And you cannot build something real if you are always looking to the side to see what other people are doing. You have to focus on your own path.
That is a lesson I had to learn the hard way. I used to compare everything. My salary, my clothes, my home. I was always looking at other people and wanting what they had. And I felt miserable.
So what changed?
I think I realized that I was never going to be happy if I kept doing that. Because there is always going to be someone richer, more beautiful, more talented. It never ends. So I decided to start focusing on myself.
And how did you do that?
I started writing down things I was grateful for. Small things. A nice cup of coffee in the morning, a sunny day, a good conversation with a friend. And I started setting goals for myself, but not goals that were about beating others, goals that were about becoming a better version of myself.
That is really powerful. It is about shifting the focus from external to internal, from what do they have to what do I have, and who do I want to become?
Exactly. And another thing I realized is that everyone is struggling with something. No one is as perfect as they seem. We all have insecurities and fears. When I started to see that, I felt less alone.
That's a big realization. It is so easy to look at someone and think they have it all, but they might be dealing with anxiety, family problems, health issues, or loneliness. We never know the full story.
That is so true. One of my friends seems to have a perfect life. Beautiful husband, 2 lovely children, and a great career. But last year, she told me she felt very isolated and depressed. I was so shocked.
It is a good reminder that we should be kind, not just to ourselves, but to others too. We don't know what they are going through, and comparing our insides to their outsides will always make us feel worse.
Yes, and kindness starts with yourself. You have to be kind to your own mind. You have to stop the negative talk. When you hear that voice saying, "You are not good enough," you have to tell it, "You are wrong."
I like that. You have to argue back with that voice.
Yes, you have to be your own supporter. You have to be your own friend. You would not talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself sometimes.
You are right. Sometimes we are our own worst critics, and that is really sad. If we treated our friends the way we treat ourselves, we would have no friends.
That is a powerful way to think about it. We need to treat ourselves with the same compassion and kindness we would give to someone we love.
So let me ask you something. If you could give advice to your younger self about this whole topic of comparison, what would you say?
That is a really good question. I think I would tell my younger self, you are just fine the way you are. You don't need to be like anyone else. Just do your own thing. One day you will realize that the things you worried about were not important.
I would say something similar. I would tell my younger self to be patient, to enjoy the journey and not just focus on the destination, and to remember that everyone is unique. There is no one else like you.
And that is a wonderful thing, is it not? We are all unique. We all have a special mix of qualities, experiences, and dreams. That is what makes life so beautiful.
It is. If everyone was the same, life would be so boring. We need different people with different talents and ideas. That is what creates a rich world.
And we all have a contribution to make. Your contribution does not have to be huge or world-changing. It can be small. Being a good friend, a kind person, a good parent. That is valuable.
Yes, it is. And we need to define success for ourselves, not let society define it for us. For some people, success is money and power. For others, it is happiness and peace. For others, it is connection and love.
We all have different definitions, and that is okay. There is no right or wrong definition. The only wrong thing is to copy someone else's definition and try to fit into it.
That is such an important message. We need to listen to our own hearts. What makes us happy? What makes us feel fulfilled? And then pursue that without comparing our journey to anyone else's.
I think this is such a meaningful conversation. It reminds me that we are all enough, just as we are. We don't need to change to be accepted. We don't need to achieve something to be worthy.
Yes, your worth is not based on what you do or what you have. It is based on who you are.
And that is something we all need to hear, especially today when there is so much pressure to be perfect.
So I think it is important to remind ourselves every day, I am unique. I am on my own journey. And I am enough.
And we can also help others by not comparing them, by celebrating their wins and being happy for them. When we stop comparing, we can truly connect.
That is a beautiful thought. When we release comparison, we have more space for love, for gratitude, and for growth. We can cheer for others without feeling bad about ourselves.
It takes time and practice, though. It is not something that happens overnight. I still catch myself sometimes, but I am getting better at it.
Me too. It is a daily practice. But the important thing is to keep trying. We are not perfect, but we are learning and we are growing.
Exactly. So, to everyone listening today, we want you to remember this. You are amazing. You are beautiful just the way you are, and you don't need to be anyone else.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope this conversation touched your heart and helped you see things in a new way.
Thank you for listening to Natural English Podcast. Remember, these conversations are for you. They are to help you grow in English and in life.
If you liked this episode, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us share our podcast with more people.
And do not forget to subscribe to Natural English Podcast and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode.
We have more meaningful conversations coming for you. We talk about life, emotions, and real experiences. So keep learning, keep growing, and remember to be kind to yourself.
Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye for now. We will talk to you again soon.